Then we have them special guests. So we got a special guest in the building. So special guest, man, introduce yourself.
Zdot from West London.
Zdot in the building, boy. Where's them bombs? Where them bombs? I gotta put them bombs on, man. I don't usually put them bombs on, but I gotta put them. Let's get just a little bit of something there, man. I tell you.
Let's get it.
Zdot, legendary producer, worked with some amazing talent, amazingly talented producer yourself. So just let's give us a little bit of the back catalogue. Just do some name dropping for me, man. Tell me who you've worked with. Let's get some name dropping going.
A couple of records I produced. Stormzy know me from. Bugzy Malone, Through the Night. Bugzy Malone, Warning, Relegation Riddim. A bunch of stuff with Bugzy. Lady Leisha, Queen Speech 4. Young T and Bugzy, Gangland.
Jeez, that one. Listen, I heard that song so many times, and people have been banging it. And I was literally walking across the street, and I could hear it. People banging it out of their cars all the time.
Do you know what? That was a record, yeah, where I had that same effect when I was walking down Uxbridge Road, through Ealing, through Acton, and that was a tune that was really like thumping in people's cars. Like I had that one, and I had one with Wiley as well, like years before, where I remember just being a pedestrian, like, and just hearing it, like
hearing your work, essentially.
That's a mad feeling. Like it gets artillery as well. Like that was one of my first. I was like, that was like one of my breakthroughs. Like I was 17 when I made that beat.
Yeah, and I remember reading actually about that, how you're from West London, as you mentioned, and a lot of these artists, a lot of like Gates, Wiley, a lot of them are from East London, Bow, areas like that. So there aren't that many West London producers. How did you manage to connect with artists like that?
Do you know what? It was like really hard. Like to be honest, it was really hard to connect with those guys because they have their own circle of like people they work with, and they were working in East or South, and literally the time I was coming through, I was the only person from West who was really like working. Like we had Ice Kid who was he was kind of doing his thing, but you know, he's not really come with the work rate. But me and him have worked and we have connected, but other than that there wasn't really anyone doing things. So I just had to just jump on the train from young and just like I remember working with Dollar the Dustman.
Oh yeah,
and like
Go-Getters.
I used to do a lot with him when I was like maybe year 11 or like just going into college, and I used to just roll with him. So I'd be going to studio with him, and like the first day I went to studio with him, I met Devlin.
Oh, okay,
and then from there, me and Devlin have worked, and then like a couple sessions later, I've met Getz. Getz is like, play some rhythms. I've played Artillery. Bam, the rest is history. So I made a lot of people just rolling with Dollar. He was from East, like he knew everyone.
So you had a bit of an in.
Yeah, car. He was like, you know, he was friends with everyone, and he was a super cool dude. So yeah, and we made a lot of.
And I think we're seeing a kind of wave of new producers come in. So we've got like Heavy Track has been doing bits, Beat Freak, but still Bangles is one, ADP. Those two in particular have been making waves at the moment. Do you think producers are getting more of a recognition now than they were before? Yeah,
in terms of a lot of producers are kind of stepping outside of the shadows and becoming artists. I think that's a great thing. Producers have been like maybe not getting the recognition they deserve as a whole in previous years, but I feel like right now yeah, it's a great time. It's a great time if you're making hits. Do you know what I mean? You can release it featuring da-da-da, or like with me, I've just come off the back of a couple tracks on Bugzy's album. That's another number 6 in the charts, and then I can go and do Golden Boot EP, or I can do an album, or so it's like it's great to do both.
I feel like you're excited to talk about these projects, so come on now, let the people know. So the Golden Boot EP, alright, out now, been out a little while. Talk to me about that.
I released Golden Boot EP, like my first proper EP, like since trying to do the artist thing. Do you know what I mean? Because before, I feel like when I was releasing music ages ago, it was more like, I'll do a track for you, and let's just release without a campaign. But this time I've done videos, I've like done the radio thing a bit more like targeted and properly with a team. I've done like a little bits of PR, and like I'm kind of like dipping my foot in and seeing what works and what doesn't work, but I'm enjoying it. Do you know what I mean? Because before, I'm just making records for everyone else, and I love it as well, but there's so much music that sometimes
you want the best for yourself,
you know what I mean? No, but it's not even that. I don't even worry about that. It's more I want music to get released.
Okay.
You know them ones. So it's like, instead of music being on the hard drive, I want that song for me so I can release it. You know that, like, so people can hear it, because there's music, man. There's so much music on the hard drive, and if you're just relying on the artist to release it with like label schedules and other politics, like half the tunes will never come out. So I feel like the producer having an outlet as well, like not just me, like the other guys too. It's only going to mean more music for everyone, and that's a good thing.
You're talking about, I mean, alongside the people you've worked with who are London-based, you know, your Wiley, Stormzy, etc. You speak of having a relationship with Bugzy Malone, who's from Manchester.
That's my guy. So, yeah, like we were talking before Relegation Riddim, and we made a song before that. But then when Relegation Riddim came out, that was like.
And how did, well, and we know that's one of the tracks which was amongst the sort of back and forth lyrical beef between Bugzy and Chip. So how did you feel about being part of that? And
do you know what it is? Is like, me and Chip have worked a few times, but it's been more like he's been a feature on the tracks. But like, we've done a few things like that. But yeah, we were fans of each other anyway. But yeah, obviously the situation was so kind of.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, because
like,
I mean,
I feel like in that situation, and it went on for a while too. Like it went on for like a year. So I had to pick a side. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, after Relegation Riddim, the guy Bugzy saying Zdot on production. I feel like
you're like,
I feel like I'm in. Do you know what I mean?
You're baiting me up, man. You're baiting me up.
So it's like from there, and like I've ended up doing so much work with Bugzy. Do you know what I mean? That's like, that's my guy. So, and I ended up producing Zombie Riddim and Wasteman as well. So like the two other big disses. So it's all cool, man. Like I've got no problems with anyone, but at that moment, obviously I was team Bugzy, man, definitely. And he's come out of that and not just like come with 1 or 2 tunes which have done bits. He's come with 4 top 10 albums.
Yeah, that's insane, huh?
So, you know, it speaks for itself.
Yeah, you're like, I might have a little something to do with that, you know. Man's obviously doing his producer bit, so just saying, like, you know what I'm saying?
No, definitely, man, definitely.
Yeah, talk to me about this label thing, man, because I know you've got releasing some stuff through your label.
So like with the label side of things, I feel like I've seen it, like the artist and all what we're doing now, and I've seen like how you build campaigns, and I've been working with Eyes. He's an artist from Derby.
We know. I've
been doing a lot with Eyes. I've released 2 projects with him, and you know what? There's like, I'm like really super proud of like what's coming, because like off the back of his Square One mixtape, we've got like serious power moves. Like serious power moves, and
give me some more, man. Like, give me some more. Come on, I know you want to give me some more.
For me to be able to release it on my own label independently, and us do these moves is like the scene will be paying attention, and I'm not talking a long time. I mean, in the next 6 weeks.
Oh, so it's coming soon, man.
And it's a big thing. It's a look that everyone will care about.
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, because we had Eyes here. When we had Eyes here and he was on the show, he was speaking very highly of you, working with Crunchy as well.
100%.
And just you connect, and that's very, I know that's very important for artists to be able to connect with a producer.
No, 100%.
Gets the best out of them.
Yeah, I've known Eyes for a long time, and we had instant chemistry. Like, I think the first time he came, we made a few tracks, and yeah, it was just like we had just a really good vibe. So we just kept it going, and now things are at a place where like he just sold out a tour in Australia. Like he's doing bits now, and it all makes sense. But like for me, like I had that initial like faith in this guy before anything.
Well, that's another thing. Is there any artist who you've had your eye on who you think is super, super talented and either has got the recognition they deserve or who hasn't?
That's an interesting one,
because we know there's a lot of influx of artists at the moment. Some artists are blowing off one track and going clear. Other artists have been putting in grind for years. Other just slowly built up their way, and then boom, here they are. Some are still trying. I mean, and in a time where if you make a hit, that's enough. Just one hit's cool, and then from that hit, let's build a career.
I don't know. There's loads of people I am working with who aren't that big at the moment, who I feel like they will be big. Give them like another year. I feel like these people will be.
Can you get some names?
There's a dude called Hacks. Okay. I feel like he's super dope. I've got some bangers with him. A guy called J1. Got a new banger with him. Yeah, there's like Yizzy, he's like a grime MC, he's dope. So like, there's a couple people who like I've been working with, but we've not released the stuff we've done yet. And
different kind. We just heard that Shaka and Frisco, produced by yourself. Talk to me about that one.
Yeah, do you know what? So I can't remember when it got released. You probably know. It was probably a couple years ago. But yeah, me and Crunchy, we had this beat, and we kind of like, we quite like the concept of like mixing rock with grime, and it's like no one's really done it. Do you know what I mean? So Crunchy done the riff on the guitar, and then we just messed around with it with the bass and the drums and stuff. And then Frisco came. He wanted something a bit different. So we're going through beats. He likes that one. So we're like, alright, wicked. He started it. He's called Shaka, like, Shaka, you need to come and mess with this tune, like, now. So like, within about an hour and a half, Shaka was there. These times Frisco's done his 2 verses. They've done the tune, we've mixed it, sounded strong. Then I was with Rita Ora's sister, and I was just in her car, just like playing her some tunes, and I was like going through tunes, and then I just played that. She was like, what have you been up to? So I played her that one, and she was like, I love it, like I love this one. So I was like, cool. And then she just called me like that night and was like, Rita wants to try like a thing on it. So I was like, oh, dope. So I think like a week later Rita came. So in another session, Rita's come cut the tune, and it was like, I told Frisco and Shaka to come as well, so they came. And then like it kind of worked, but it kind of was like, Frisco was like, oh, it makes it too soft, you know what I mean? But I have the version in it, so one day, you get me, I might leak it. But it was good for me to see that, okay, a tune that sounds that hard, and like I've not tried to make a commercial song, can be heard in that way of like, oh, you could turn like a gritty sounding tune into like a commercial hit. So it was good to see like a pop artist like Rita messing with the tune, because obviously, yeah, the commercial value on Rita, someone like Rita Ora as an artist. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it was like, oh, you don't need to just make that 4/4 music. You can be yourself, and I feel like that's something I've always done as a producer. In every single situation I've been in, I've always been myself. And you can look at the Little Bit Leave It situation. Yeah, I got called by Sony. Do I want to come and do a session for the ITV or something? So I was like, I didn't know what Love Island was. Oh yeah. Do you know what I mean? So, but everyone around me watches it, so I was like, I knew who Chris and Ken were just because I have Instagram and Twitter. So I knew, okay, I know these guys are big in the game. So I've given them a grime rhythm. Like if you listen to that tune, the tune bangs. Like the beat is hard. Like I could have easily made, the label were telling me references, and trust me, it was not me. Like it was 4/4 club, deep house sound and stuff, yeah. And it sounded cool, but it wasn't me. So I said, I'm only doing it if I'm being myself. And you know, it went to #1 straight away. And it's like, oh, like if you've got the right sounds, you can do bits. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, that's what I've realised, man. They're hollering at Zdot because they want Zdot. They don't want Tom Zanetti, bro. Yeah. They don't want Tiny Temper sounds over here. They want Zdot. They want that raw, wily, Bugzy, Stormzy energy. Well, that's it, especially now. I mean, grime is popping now. It's never that's what I've realised as well, just like through my years in the industry, is that like when people are calling you for a remix or a production, they want you to be you. And so I'm just trying to do that. Yeah, not try and really look at anything else. We're doing a little Zdot segment at the moment. So I feel like you need your dues, man, because someone like you who's been working in the scene for so long, and as a West man like myself, I'm thinking, you come from West, doing all these East London, man, like East Hackney and all this, but West, we be holding it down, West man. There's some talent over here as well, man. You know what I mean? Definitely. So we've got Coast in there. There's a lot going on, man. You got Golden Boot EP, which is available now. Yeah. Got you worked on Ice's Square One. Yeah, so me and Crunchy produced the whole of the Ice Square One project. That done amazing. I feel like it propelled Ice to a new kind of level. And then the Kamikaze Facts Not Fiction mixtape, me and Crunchy also produced that. Both of the projects released on 101 Music, which is my label. So yeah, man, it's feeling good. There's a lot more to come. Yeah. So you're doing a lot on your label, man. Tell us about the label. So basically, even Relegation Riddim was on my label. So it's like the label's foundations are strong. Like in terms of like the releases, like it's strong. Kamikaze, Eyes, Aside Dreads. Until Aside Dreads was with my label, and then he got basically got a nice check from an American label called Payday.
Okay.
So
Payday Records.
Yeah. So so they've got like, they publish like all of Future, Migos. Chance the Rapper, all of those guys producers. Do you know what I mean? So they've got basically all of the Uzi Vert's producer. So now like when the US producers come over, sizing with everyone. So he's cooking.
Yeah, I can imagine with that kind of firepower behind him as well, most definitely.
He's cooking, man. He's nice.
And how long's your label been going for?
Probably 3 years. Yeah, about 3 years. Yes, it's feeling good though, because there's a lot to come. Like all the up and coming artists I'm working with, that's the plan. Put them through the label.
I know, because you're telling me you got I can sense you need to tell me, man, what's coming next. We've got the Golden Boot EP. It's out now. We can get that now, but I want to know what's next.
I don't like talking about stuff which isn't definitely confirmed yet, but what I will tell you is the future's bright for Eyes, the future's bright for Kamikaze, the future's bright for Zdot, and the future's bright for my new project with Crunchy.
And when's it out? At least give us something.
What do you want to know about
I want to know roughly when it's out.
Yeah.
And what we can expect of it. What sort of level will it take you?
Okay, so basically me and Crunchy, we have this new project called 900 Miles. It's a brand new project. It's like live guitar, live piano, live bass meets electronic beats. So the beats are like quite garagey for the most part. But like when I tell you who we're working with, it's like that's what takes it to a next level. So like the Kooks. We got the Kooks on there. We got JP Cooper on there. Do you know what I mean? So we're hitting you with like the people who can really sing, like the people who are really, really on
about the singing. Like,
we're dropping our first single real soon. You're gonna get it in your inbox probably within the next 2 weeks.
Yep, I'm gonna check my inbox now. You've worked with Burner as well, Zed, haven't you?
Yeah, Burner. He's like one of my favorite like up and coming UK artists. I think he's super talented.
We got one of them here with him. This is Broco. This is the one I really like. Actually, this is the one I've been. Banging.
This is like one of the most popular songs from the project, man.
Yeah, because I don't know, I just feel like I'm always even when I'm like listening back to the show and I'm like, I know this song. I was like, oh yeah, and he just think, I was like, what is this? I was like, oh yeah, this is Zdot. So I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna put it on again next week.
No, 100%.
Like, because like if I like it, it's on this playlist. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
and
definitely.
if people are listening and they're liking it, then it's just a reach, man. It's all about it.
Even with me putting together Golden Boot EP, like it's easy for me to put a project where every track is a known person. But like if you look at what I've done through history, I've always liked to work with up and coming artists and people who might not be on your radar. So that's why I got Jelani Blackman on there, got Burn on there. Obviously people now know Young T and Bugzy, but I did produce Gangland, so they weren't so known then as well.
Mad.
Hair Square, they're like an Irish band, but like to some people they're really known, and to others they're not, because they were on Gold Link's album, so like that blew up, and that done like really well, and they were signed to Columbia, and so they do the industry people know them, but they're not huge, and obviously Wiley, the Godfather, so
I gotta ask you, man. I never asked you. You see, how did you ever team up and work with Stormzy? Because you did Know Me From.
Yeah. I done Know Me From and a song called Brotherhood for that movie.
Yeah.
We done that one as well. I'm trying to remember how.
It was a little while ago now. And now
I'm trying to remember how we met. I think we were always like following each other and stuff, and I think there was just like limited communication, but like kind of like we wanted to work kind of thing, but it just didn't happen. But then he was at my studio for something, I can't remember what, and then he was just like, yo, I need a track now. Like basically it was that time where he was about to be put on those lists for like BBC and he needed a track, so we made it, and blew up. And that's still like his encore song when he's performing like at the festivals. I mean, that's like his probably most jumpy, like gets the crowd going nuts track. So yeah, man, it's a good times, and he's smashing it right now. It's
kind of mad. The formula at the moment is just like you work with an artist, get a track together, it blows. Okay, cool. You work with another artist, man. Then it blows a lot. I'm seeing like a lot of common things. Yeah. Things so it's like blowing.
That's like mad. One thing I feel like is my theme. Is that I make a lot of artists' first real big hit. That's what, like, if you just look at histories with Lady Leisha, with Queen's Speech 4, like. blew up. It was her first hit. Bugzy Malone Relegation is first hit.
Yeah.
Stormzy Know Me From It blew up.
That's mad.
Young T and Bugzy Gangland blew up.
I feel like you should put it on a
Gets
card
Artillery
somewhere.
blew up. Like
I feel like you should put it on a
them.
card. Listen, just be like one track with me and you'll just blow up. Standard, just on a card.
No, it is, but it's like there's certain artists where I like to keep the relationship going, and like with Bugzy, I've been on all 4 albums, and we've done a lot more music together with Wiley. I've made probably 50 or 60 songs with Wiley, so like that's another one. Like I like having those ones too. Do you know what I mean? Where you're like
ongoing relationships.
Certain artists, like you have that vibe where it's like, yeah, when we link up, it's a banger. Like that's a good one.